guys, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Tiffany.
And we are
Sisters of the South.
Actually, today we are
Southern Sisters of Spirits.
Woo. We're repping the month of October. We're coming to you with some scary stories that have haunted us for years. We wanted to bring them to you, discuss them, and see what you think. So we're excited for this month. We've been prepping for a long time to bring these stories to you, and we're excited. We're going to come to you today with a little bit of repping for our friends at SoFly. SoFly! They are a small company here in Houston that does embroidery for special occasions on any accessory that you may provide to them, or they can provide it for you with different colors. They also do laser cutting for keychains, or I think they even do some cups right now. So check them out.
Remember, Christmas is coming up and they would love to get an order from you.
Oh, absolutely. And they're getting busy. So check them out pretty soon. They do beautiful work. They'd be glad to do something special for you. So with that being said, we're going to move forward with our story.
All right. So today I've got to give a little special thanks to my friend over at my favorite breakfast place. My favorite waitress, Gina, brought this story to me and asked if we could do it. And this was months ago, back when we started this channel. So she's been waiting months. And here we go.
Let's do it.
So Elizabeth Bathory was born in 1560 in Royal Hungary, and the exact date of her birth was never recorded. She spent her childhood at Esed Castle. Her father was Baron George Bathory, who ruled Voivode of Transylvania, and I apologize, I'm going to butcher every one of these names and places. Her paternal great-grandparents were Conrad the Red, Duke of Masovia and Warsaw, who was a member of the Pius dynasty, and Anna Radziwill, a member of the influential Polish-Lithuanian House of Radziwill.
That's a mouthful right there.
Oh, everything's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful.
Her mother, Baroness Anna Bathory of Salmio, Palatine of Hungary. Through her mother, Elizabeth was the niece of Stephen Bathory, Prince of Transylvania, who became ruler of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth as King of Poland and Great Duke of Lithuania. With all that being said, Elizabeth's parents were from different branches of the Bathory family. They were first cousins.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
A huge pedigree.
Which is what they did back then. They had to keep that noble blood flowing between them.
Mm-hmm.
So Elizabeth Bathory was raised a Calvinist Protestant and learned Latin, German, Hungarian, and Greek as a young woman. Born into a privileged noble family, she was endowed with wealth, education, and a prominent social rank. I was not.
Me either.
Because so little about Bathory's childhood can be proven with hard evidence, this is the period of her life where most of the speculation about the origins of her evil is centered. Elizabeth had multiple seizures that may have been caused by epilepsy, which is a clinical manifestation of an abnormal, excessive, and synchronized electrical discharge in the neurons of the brain.
So I have a question.
Yes.
This is back in the 1500s. Was it called epilepsy back then?
No, they actually did not know what it was called. They just knew that it was episodes.
And I know when I've read in the history that far back, a lot of the times they would think that you were evil.
They didn't mention that. They did mention the treatment for it, though.
Which was what?
Which is what I'm about to go into.
Oh, can't wait to hear this.
But it is said that incest can be a factor in the development of epilepsy. But of course, there are many other possible causes. Elizabeth was treated for her epilepsy by rubbing the blood on her lips or giving her a mixture of the blood and a piece of the non-sufferer's skull after an episode. So they would take the blood of a person who did not have epilepsy and rub on her lips.
But where would they get these people? Is this just townspeople that would die?
It didn't say that either. I did so much research on this. I wanted to know where the skull came in.
Yeah.
Did they crush it and put it in? Did she snort it? I mean, how did
Right.
where did this come from? I could not find it anywhere.
Interesting.
But I guess it was almost like a small transfusion
Interesting. So she got the taste for blood early on in
early on.
life.
Yes.
Okay. This became normal for her. It was like medicine. It was a
It was
treatment.
medicine, yes.
Oh, wow.
So this is where the theories begin, stating that this ignited her insatiable bloodthirst. Another theory is that she was trained by her family to be cruel, taught witchcraft, and exposed to satanic worship. Growing up in a castle, they would beat their servants, and I guess you get desensitized to that.
Right.
So they're saying that that could be possible.
Hmm.
It is said that Elizabeth's nurse from childhood practiced black magic that reportedly required sacrifice of children for their bones and blood, and she taught this to Elizabeth.
She was groomed to be this way.
Yes, she was taught to be this way by so many people in her life.
And where are they getting these children? They go down to the local town and just snatch children, I guess.
Well, they're nobles, so I think they can get away with a lot.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Hmm.
In 1571, at the age of 11, Elizabeth was engaged to Count Ferenc Nadasi. Ferenc was a nobleman and heir to one of the wealthiest dynasties in the region, although he was technically of lower social standing than his wife-to-be. It was a political arrangement.
At 11 years old.
At 11 years old, she was engaged to be married later, which of course they got married really young.
I
So
see. Okay, so it was an arranged
it
marriage.
was an arrangement, of course.
Well, royalty does that to make sure they keep that
They
royalty
keep the
blood
noble
in
blood
the family.
Well, he wasn't related.
So how old was he, did it say, when they got engaged? You said he was
Okay,
quite older, but
he-
did they say his age?
Well, he was 19 when they got married, and
Okay.
she was 14.
Okay.
So 5 years older than her. In 1573, at the age of 13, just before her marriage, Elizabeth gave birth to a child. The child, said to have been fathered by a peasant boy, was given away to a local woman who was trusted by the Bathory family. The woman was paid for her actions, and the child was taken to Wallachia. On May 8th, 1575, Elizabeth, 14, and Ferenc, 19, were married at the Palace of Verano with more than 4,500 guests. Do you think they were all friends?
4,500 guests?
4,500.
I don't
Sure.
even know 45 people that I would invite to a party, much less 4,500.
So I'm going to say no.
And I'm exaggerating, but that's a lot of people.
And
So
guys,
she probably didn't know 50% of them.
Ferenc took the surname Bathory, being of lower social standing. The marriage resulted in combined land ownership in both Transylvania and the Kingdom of Hungary. Ferenc's wedding gift to Elizabeth was his household in the castle of Szeged. Now, I didn't get a castle from my husband when we
Nope,
got married, and
me
now we
neither.
need to have a talk. Where's my castle, man?
I mean,
I feel ripped off.
that's better than a ring.
The whole castle and the household with the servants. Oh,
How nice is that?
crazy. After the wedding, the couple lived in Ferenc's castle at Sarvar. So they had many castles. It didn't say how many, it just multiple castles.
Mhm.
The couple's first child was born 10 years later in 1585. Elizabeth gave birth to 5 children. 2 died as infants, but 2 daughters and a son survived. Only a few years after the wedding, Ferenc was promoted to the chief commander of Hungarian troops and sent to war. Elizabeth was left behind to manage the family estate, defend her husband's affairs, and tend to the local people. Although they spent most of their marriage apart, it is said that Ferenc may have schooled Elizabeth in techniques of torture and even took part alongside her, encouraging her. While her husband was away, Elizabeth would practice their rituals and would write to him about them.
Interesting.
What a love letter.
What a love letter.
Elizabeth received an assortment of lovers, male and female. She also had an entourage of people practicing sorcery, alchemy, and witchcraft. At the time, a pale man with long dark hair who was known to drink blood came to live with Elizabeth at the castle in order to teach her about it.
Hmm.
What is there really to learn? You
I
just
have no
drink it,
idea.
right? Is there a ritual that you do with it?
Yes, there's rituals. There
You seem to know quite a bit about this.
Well, I've read a lot on different doctrines, if you want to call it doctrines, and there is everything, be it voodoo, um, Santa Clarita, I think it is,
Yes.
they all have their rituals and how they do these blood rituals. And it's very important to them. It's not a joke. They take it serious. As Christians, when they're worshiping, it's the same thing. I mean, we don't cast spells and things, but there is such thing as black magic, and that's basically what this is.
Well, and they did say that this man favored what today people look at as a vampire. The
Hmm.
long dark hair, the pale skin.
Well, Transylvania
Is
also
known
is
for
where Dracula
vampires.
was.
Yes.
So I'm
Which is
sure,
another story we could do.
yeah. So I'm sure that he might have assisted Dracula in some of their
It is possible.
rituals.
They
Mhm.
said that Elizabeth did run away with him for a short time, but then she came back alone. So,
Oh, did
mhm.
anybody ever hear from him after that?
I'm not sure. I don't even know this man's name to look him up.
Oh, wow.
It's just a pale man with dark,
Dark
long
hair.
hair.
Interesting.
So in 1602, Elizabeth targeted the daughters of local peasants by luring them to the castle with the promise of work. The ages of these girls range from 10 to 14. Later, it is said that Elizabeth would target the daughters of the lesser gentry sent by their parents to learn etiquette and social advancements. You trust her to take care of them, and bad things happen.
You're sending him into the lion's den.
Literally.
Hmm.
Because once at the castle, the victims were tortured and murdered. Elizabeth is said to have covered some of the girls' bodies with honey and left outside for the insects to devour.
Mm.
During colder parts of the year, young women might be stripped naked and forced into deadly ice baths and put outside until the water hardened and they were unable to move.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes Elizabeth would torture the girls by driving needles into their fingers, biting their noses or lips, or whipping them with stinging nettle plants.
Mm.
She would bite shoulders and breasts as well as burning the flesh, including genitals, of some of her victims. The intimate nature of Elizabeth's attacks suggests a sexual motivation, though it's impossible to know with certainty what compelled her to do these horrific things.
It almost sounds like she didn't just have a taste for blood, but for flesh as well.
I think she just enjoyed torture.
Yeah.
Every bit of it
Mm-hmm.
is what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
But rumor has it Elizabeth was said to have enjoyed drinking the blood of the virgins, believing that it would preserve her beauty and youthfulness.
Wow.
She was also rumored to bathe in the blood of her young victims. The story goes that she developed this penchant after slapping a female servant in rage and discovered her skin looked younger where the servant's blood splashed on it. Like, oh, my wrinkles went away.
Oh my gosh. That was in her head. That was in her head. And how good were the mirrors back then anyway? Let's be honest. I mean,
And the lighting.
yeah, and the lighting. I mean, like you could really tell.
Well, the first mention of the drinking of the blood and the blood baths were about 100 years after Elizabeth's death, and there's no true evidence to back up any of it.
Mm-hmm.
She was known as a petty and vain narcissist. She changed her clothes 5 or 6 times a day and would spend hours admiring her legendary beauty in mirrors. The rumors may not be true, but who knows? It does make for a good story, right?
Well, it makes for a great story, but the least that she was a narcissist.
Yes.
I mean, that's being too kind. if you ask me. I don't know.
Way too kind. In January 1604, at the age of 48, Elizabeth's husband, Ferenz, died from an unknown illness that initially caused pain in his legs, but eventually left him disabled. After her husband's death, Elizabeth stopped targeting peasant girls and moved on to girls from noble families.
Oh, getting into that rich blood now, huh?
Oh, yeah, because I mean, it's not working, obviously.
Well, she's 48. She's got to
she
amp the
needs
ante.
some better blood.
Yeah.
Though previous accounts of the murders of peasant girls were of no concern to authorities, the murders of noble girls attracted attention. And in 1609, all evidence led to Elizabeth Bathory. So, I mean, she's known for having these noble girls in her house to teach them etiquette and bring them up.
Manners.
And they're missing. Like, oh no, wait, they never came back. What's going on? Yeah. So on December 29th, 1610, Count Georgy Thurzo, who oversaw matters as the Lord Palatine of Hungary, arrived at Bathory's castle to investigate the alleged crimes against women of noble birth. He reportedly surprised Elizabeth in the middle of tormenting a victim, and she was immediately arrested and imprisoned in her home. Her high status meant she would not be jailed as a common criminal.
Oh, wow. Well, of course not. So we just keep her in her beautiful castle.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Of course. 4 of Elizabeth's servants, 3 female and 1 male, were then arrested, questioned, and subject to torture. Their court proceedings began early in January 1611. These servants denied their involvement in the murders, but admitted to burying multiple victims, though the number in their accounts varied between 36 and 51. Although they were the king's witnesses, they were executed.
Oh, wow.
2 of the females had their fingers torn out with a pair of red-hot pincers and then burned alive. The 3rd female initially escaped but was burned alive after being apprehended. Due to this youth and the belief that he was less involved, the male was executed by a much less painful method, beheading, and his body was burned afterward.
Guillotine.
After these executions, Thurzo continued to investigate Elizabeth. One witness stated that Elizabeth herself had listed 650 victims in her papers.
Oh, wow.
Though the number of victims varied in other testimonials, and Elizabeth's death toll remains unknown.
So she named 650 victims. Well, they can't hold it against her if they ask her again and she forgets a few. I mean, that's a lot of people.
That's a whole village.
I mean, that's a small town. Honestly.
Yeah.
Wow. And she remembered, a lot of people.
That's a lot. The evidence gathered by Thurzo also included 289 witness statements. As a member of such a powerful family, Elizabeth was not put on trial. A trial and execution would have caused a public scandal and led to the disgrace of a prominent and influential family that ruled Transylvania. How dare them?
I mean, we don't want to embarrass the family.
She took out a village of girls,
Yes.
but we're not going to treat her like a commoner.
Let's treat her like a murderer and get rid of her.
Well, instead, she was isolated in a bricked-up room in her own castle.
How horrible.
Oh, gosh.
So bad.
So inhumane.
It's home arrest.
Well, she remained there until her death in 1614. As she was not convicted of a crime, Elizabeth's holdings passed to family members instead of being seized. But the body of 54-year-old Elizabeth Bathory was found on August 21st, 1614, in her castle where she'd been imprisoned since 1610. She was initially buried in the crypt on her estate, but her body was likely moved afterward.
Why do they think they moved it? Because people would try to dig her up, or
Probably. I think they usually kind of do that so no one really knows where they are because
yeah,
you can go to her castle today,
yeah,
which would kind of be cool.
it would be cool. Creepy, but cool. And you know that people been doing ghost hunts up in that place.
Oh, of
Oh,
course.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Elizabeth Bathory is known as the most notorious female serial killer to this day,
Mhm.
although some believe she was innocent. But what do you think?
Mm.
Do you think she bathed in the blood of her victims? Or do you think she was just hated by her servants, who are the ones that told them what happened?
Well, listen, there's always some truth to rumor,
Oh, yeah.
right? And I'm sure some of it was exaggerated. I'm pretty sure she wasn't nice to be around. So they already had that, that little bit of resentment towards her. So they're going to embellish their stories.
Well, in my opinion, what were they going to get out of it if they lied? She was in
Yeah,
prison, they were put to death.
right,
So what was the point in lying?
right. That's true. I don't know. But I think it's a true story. I think that she was a prolific serial killer. I think that most of the stories were probably true, but I'm sure there's some embellishment there.
Well, and it's been so
Yeah,
long, so many hundreds of years that who knows what the actual truth is.
right. Only Elizabeth knows, y'all, and her victims, for sure. I want to know what you think. Do you
We
think
do.
that she was just given a bad name because she wasn't a nice person? Do you think the epilepsy maybe caused some brain damage and she became a serial killer? Do you think that she was groomed as a child and just kept going with it because she had an insatiable desire for blood? What do you think? I think it's a little bit of all of it.
I think so too.
I think she became evil over time. I
Well, I think she was born into the atmosphere
mhm,
that
mhm,
helped create that. You make
mhm,
your own choices, but that
right.
became a normal way of life for her.
Right. Sure enough. And then she kept meeting people that was in that as well, and that was her circle.
And she loved the power,
Mhm.
so she used it.
Yeah. Interesting, but
Yeah.
really creepy. But
So, guys, please like and share this video if you think it's good enough to share, and subscribe for more true crime content every week.
it's free.
And
Until
until
next
next
time,
time,
see
see
the
the
good
good
and
and stay
stay
imperfectly
imperfectly
perfect.
perfect.
Bye,
Thank you.
guys.
Bye.
Happy Halloween.